What's up, guys? This is Acidic Root. So I've got a brand new Let's Play, and it's kind of a second tier game. I mean, the sheer amount of people who bring this up at, first, second, or third thing is just not too common. I think even out of like racing fans, you're gonna get the Mario Karts, the Gran Turismos, the Need for Speeds, but F-Zero has just been kind of an awkward little term. So this is the next Let's Play I'm gonna do. It's really been since the beginning of November with Beavis and Butthead. I've just had a lot of trials with trying to find a sufficient game. I mean, it's been like the third, Ren and Stimpy's like the third game that I've attempted to do this past year. There probably would have been 3 extra games: Doom, Mortal Kombat, Final Fight. So 4 games now that I wanted to have on my channel, but just due to all the problems and the difficulty, I was unable to. So I said, I don't want it to be like August before I get another game going. So I kind of like the pleasant atmosphere of Donkey Kong Country last autumn, and then Beavis and Butthead, so it's time to do one again. So this is Mute City, the home of, well, just the course that probably most people recognize from F-Zero the most. The Smash Brothers series has helped that out, but yeah, the first course you play in most F-Zero games, pretty much all of them. So, but yeah, this is just the story. I mean, for those who don't know the story of what's going on, why these folks are racing, and what's the point, and where are they, and all that. So this takes place in, probably 600 some odd years in the future, maybe more than that. And the F-Zero Grand Prix is a tournament where you win money. And in the first one, there's like 4 main racers that are the most popular. You see these other cars, but I assume since you can't actually place worse than those unnamed cars, that they're just participants who don't have a big enough reputation. So, the 4 main ones are Pico, Dr. Stewart, Samurai Goro, who's in front of me, the pink one, and then Captain Falcon. So, and all of these guys just kind of, they have their stuff going on, but the main thing is the Grand Prix is a good way to win a lot of money. But the thing I liked about this game in particular is they basically said that all 4 of these guys had a life outside of this tournament. They're not just, oh, I've been trying to train for years to be able to race in this tournament just to win, $10,000 or something. No. Dr. Stewart is a doctor, Captain Falcon's a bounty hunter, Samurai Goro is an evil bounty hunter, and Pico, the green one, is a mercenary. So they all have stuff, and if you were actually able to get the instruction booklet of F-Zero, which I think I had but I lost, or I at least messed around and saw pictures of it on the internet, there's actually a comic with Captain Falcon, the blue racer you see right there, and he has a starship and he collects bounties and that sort of thing. But Captain Falcon's a good guy, and so is the guy I'm using right now, Dr. Stewart. Those are the 2 good guys, and then there's 2 villains. So, this extra stuff. I don't know why I, mess with F-Zero so much. It's a good racing game, but I feel like it's one of the few racing games that actually has a subplot beneath it rather than just, win first. That's kind of the thing there, is when you look at something, I figured, if I'm going to do this sort of thing, just applying this to casual gamers to kind of get this out there more, it just felt like a good game to do. I just watched an LP of it and I said, this is an actual game I can beat, or at least do decent at. I may not be able to beat this game on expert, master, or standard, but I can, at least complete it. And the whole goal of the game is the game really doesn't penalize you for not placing first. I mean, you're not going to get any extravagant ending except on the harder difficulties. So, really, you don't even see these racers outside of their cars for the most part. So, but in the later, in the GameCube version, they actually have scripts, and you can find out what all 30 racers, or more than 30 actually, have to say when they win. It's only a sentence or two, but still, I mean, that's personality considering. The Mario Kart has never attempted to have a story. I don't think it did in the Wii version, which was really the last one I played, and it did kind of have one in the DS, but by that point it was just kind of like, eh. So, I mean, the DS is kind of love it or hate it for the most part, but... So, yeah, this is Big Blue, so this is another course that has... I mean, it may not be as popular as Mute City, but it's recognizable, and there's only one of these in the game, so I figured, you know, in later versions, there's like, you go back to this course and all that, to see other renditions and other racetracks, but and I think it's surprising that there's only one version of that in this game. But, you know, all of these have pretty good colors. I mean, this course is blue, the last one was gray, the next one is yellow, and the one after that is green. So they all have some vibrant colors to them. That's what helps make this game be pretty slick. So, I'm trying the Golden Fox just because I didn't want to start with Captain Falcon, just because if I... You know, you're going to realize later on that this is a fail video, and that's basically what it is. I haven't mentioned it yet, but this is a fail video. I figured I had the skill to beat this game on the standard difficulty, but I do not. And you're going to be seeing a lot more fuckery pretty soon. That's really what's going to happen, is wipeouts, car explosions, brutality from the other racers, just all sorts of shit. So, but I wanted to try a new character, but the problem with the Golden Fox is he's kind of more of an intermediate character, because if he slides around a lot, because his grip is like rated D as in dog, so he has the worst grip of all four of these guys. That means you're going to have a harder time with the turns, so that's the whole problem is, you know, I needed someone with a better grip, and Captain Falcon has a B in that area, or I think he does. He either has a B or a C, I don't remember. So obviously Captain Falcon, that's the one that they intended for you to use for beginners, but I didn't. I wanted to try my hand at, you know, I'm pretty good at F-Zero X and GX, so I figured, but no, this game is the hardest one. The whole thing. It's just like Super Mario Kart. It's a pain in the ass, pain in the arse, and it'll piss you off. I mean, guarantee you start off in a happy mood. You could have won the lottery. You could have, you know, just had a nice cake, something extravagant that makes you feel better, and you could play this game for 20 minutes on a hard difficulty, and you'll be angry. That's the whole thing there. This game will piss you off. So, I still wanted to do it just because I like the experience of the game when you actually have fun in it. So it's just kind of one of those things there. So, and you do have health. For those who don't know, your machine, like I said, will explode. You have lives. You can get a game over. So, but yeah, a lot of the racers will knock you around. And it doesn't matter. I mean, Pico, if you're wondering who has the best body, who's the most brutal, it's either the green car or the pink one. And the thing is you're going to need to knock around some of these racers. In the later games, you get an attack, but you know, that's the thing, is it really doesn't help. Especially this guy, he has a D body, so he has the worst body out of the four racers, so he is going to get screwed over a lot, but it's not the whole damn thing. So, and Nintendo knows it. I mean, they're the catalyst in this situation. They made the courses to where you will get fucked over. Like I said, there's fuckery, and yeah, you can definitely wind up wiping out quite a bit. So, and this is just the Night Cup. But But then I'm starting to realize that F-Zero was kind of always a game that had difficulty. It just is meant to be a hard game. It's meant for more extreme gamers, so... I did want to play the arcade version. There was an F-Zero AX, but I probably would have wound up spending like $7 or $8 in quarters in there just because, you know, if you only get one shot, you know, I don't know how that worked. I mean, it came out in Japan, but I don't know if it came out in America, so it might have. I forget the developer's name, but it was Sega. It might have been Sega who did it. Yeah, Sega. And, you know, that's the thing. I mean, Sega's the shit. You know, my Sega videos are doing pretty well. It's one of my most distinguished sets of videos on the Acidic Roots channel are my Sega videos. So I'm just used to, you know, the sort of Sega stuff. So I mean, it's tough to find that F-Zero AX machine, but it just makes me wonder how it turned out. But yeah, there's 5 laps in this game, so it's kind of like Super Mario Kart. They do that sort of thing, and I mean, that was a burp, by the way, and it's the second of Let's Play videos where I burped in, or someone has burped in. I don't know if that might have been Frenchie who did that. I was thinking like it was me, but someone burped in one of those videos. And yeah, I really don't remember. Yeah, lots of machines exploding. Like I said, this course is, you know, ass. So yeah, if you know this game well, you know that there hasn't been a game since 2004 in the series, which is quickly a decade and a half from now. So it's kind of like, you know, most people are saying, well, what the hell happened? Well, the whole problem with it was after the GameCube, there was online play, and I think a lot of people would have wanted this game to be online, but I don't know how well it would have turned out with, you know, being able to destroy machines and stuff. So they said that was like the main reason that the game didn't, you know, they didn't make one for the Wii or anything, is because they didn't know how to deal with it in the current age. But that's, you know, just another reason why the Nintendo Wii is, you know, one of my less favored Nintendo machines. Is just not only for the controller, but just for the lack of games that people who probably would have been their generation would have liked. I mean, I don't know how Metroid Prime 3 played on that machine, and, you know, they didn't give you, you know, Zelda, you know, you had to interact with the game, and the same thing with Mario. So I mean, it was just a complete 180 in direction from their style from what the GameCube and the N64 were. So it was kind of like, you know, I think that kind of bucked a lot of their audience. I mean, that's the thing. The Wii was successful. It's just the fact that you had to adapt. I mean, for the people who didn't want to adapt, it kind of, that's seen as like the worst machine for those people, and that I kind of fell into that crowd. I was just like, hell, you know, I'm just gonna stick with the Xbox 360. But, you know, a lot of games that, you know, were supposed to come out for that didn't. I don't think they did a Star Fox game, and they didn't do an F-Zero, and, you know, some of these other ones. You know, they did do a Punch-Out. That one was kind of awkward too. So I don't know. I mean, it was just a strange time. You know, the awkward thing about it was just the fact that it actually did better than most of the other machines Nintendo put out. So, but it is what it is. I mean, that's, of course, you know, now the Wii years are now 10 years ago. So That's kind of the thing. I mean, so at my computer desktop, I have a Wild Cherry Pepsi, and I've also been drinking Yoo-Hoo. So that's like the thing. I have like a third favorite drink, I'd definitely say. And, you know, besides energy drinks and soda, the next one is now chocolate milk drinks. And so I used to get Yoo-Hoo in like the cartons, but it feels kind of childish just having one of those, you know, with the sippy straws, and, you know, when it's almost empty, you have to slurp it and that sort of thing. So it's just, you know, it's a little kitty in some sorts of cutesy at least. And of course it's chocolate milk. So I mean, but I think, you know, it's perfectly acceptable for adults to drink chocolate milk. It just kind of makes you wonder how you're gonna do it. So I haven't seen Yoo-Hoo in the can form since probably a long time. I definitely didn't see it last year, and I looked. I think I even asked one of the patrons at Walmart, or not patrons, but employees, and, you know, they said we only have it in carton form. And the thing was the last time I got it, you know, which was just a few days ago, they only had one 12-pack case, so it makes me wonder if it's flying off the shelf, and who else is a Yoo-Hoo addict in my town. Kind of like, what the shit, you know? I'm trying. I'm definitely gonna, you know, attempt to get another 12-pack of Yoo-Hoo, because I've already gone through about a third of it, so that's definitely something I want. So chocolate milk, at least in the can form, is now a new fad. And, you know, I do like, I mean, that yellow can is pretty vibrant. It's just like Red Bull's blue and silver. I mean, those are identifiable colors. I mean, Coke is always going to be known for being bright red, brick red. It's pretty badass. So that's one thing you have to have a marketable drink, is the can or the brand has to be colorful and approachable. Just like the Blue Falcon. I mean, the fact that, you know, they could have picked like the Brown Falcon and it probably wouldn't have worked. It's not, you know, it's pretty special when, you know, they get it right in terms of vibrancy. It's a good thing. A lot of video games anymore don't do that. It's the main problem. So you notice when games like F-Zero aren't still being made. I suppose, but then you have to really just pick your poison, just because, you know, games like Need for Speed are putting like actual car brands in there, so it's kind of like, you know, for one thing, you know, you'll catch like Mazdas and Fords and those sorts of things in the car, Toyota, that sort of stuff, but, you know, just a question, you have to customize the cars. It's because of you as to whether or not you're going to have a nice ride, so, you know, it's the kind of way it's been. I mean, this is PS2 generation that this started happening, but, yeah, I mean, the main thing. So I need some more Mountain Dew merchandise, and that's another thing. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to get like some Coke shirts or something. I mean, I don't know if I want like a bright red Coca-Cola shirt, but I need something just to express my taste for Coca-Cola. Between that and Dr. Pepper, I mean, you know, most people, you don't even find those at yard sales and DAV and Goodwills and that sort of stuff, as people don't want to get rid of those. I mean, you have people who are Coke collectors, and they've got stuff from the 70s, 60s, in some cases, and 80s. It's like, damn. So Coke is a marketable brand. So, which, you know, that makes sense, but, you know, you look at Mountain Dew and you don't see people, unless they're gamers, who really are obsessed with Mountain Dew. It's not the same. It's just, yeah, I mean, you just don't have like these, you know, connoisseurs saying, oh, I've messed with Mountain Dew since 1978. I mean, I don't know. But yeah, and another thing is the fact that you can use the boost. If you see those 3 S's down there, in the first F-Zero, that would take, or in the later F-Zeros, that would take energy. You can use the boost as long as you have power, but you will die if you run out of power and you hit something. But in this game, you only have 3 boosts, and you get an extra boost when you complete a lap. The problem with it is, I just don't recommend using the boost that much, just because there's always a turn. You know, you should use it on straightaways, but you use it, and then you'll hit a turn, and you'll fuck up your ride. So it's obnoxious. That's the whole thing. You're gonna see later on, I try using the boost, and I wound up hitting like 6 walls because of it. So, it's a bitch. It's a bitch. But Captain Falcon gets first, so I can at least get first on Mute City. It's the whole damn thing. Basically going from a casual character to an actual character you favor, but that's the whole thing. Is this is tougher trying to. I mean, this game is just hard. This is the whole thing about it. Is once again, it's a extreme game. So. Like, the sheer amount of times I've played this game, I think I've probably played this game like less than a dozen times. I mean, I've owned it, but I think it pissed me off back in the day, and I just said, nope, I've got better things to do than get angry. Because when I get angry, I'm like, I yell at the screen. Like, I was playing Super Mario World the other day, and I was like, well, you know, the game had 80 exits that were figured out, and I was like, you know, that Reznor place, I was like, fuck that, you know, I could get 3 out of 4 of the Reznors, and then I get I hit the last one, I fall in the lava, and it was like, nope. I tried 3-4 times trying to do that. I was like, if I can do this when I'm 12, I should be able to do this now. It just was stupid, waiting for the wheel to go around and all that. It's like, there's no way I cannot beat Super Mario World anymore. I mean, that was a simplistic game, so whole thing. But you know, I really don't have a problem with F-Zero GX on the normal difficulty. I mean, it obviously tries to inquire you to play the harder ones, but you know, that's just of course going to piss you off. So for some people, you know, have like a fuse, you know, that sort of thing. If you have the patience, it's one thing, but just a hot personality. I hate to admit it, I try to be a cool personality, but I know I'm a hot type. So, you know, it's just gravitate more towards the red than the blue. But even then, I don't know if I want to say I do that in everything. It's just kind of like, well, you know, I do try to not, you know, watch a video for 5 seconds and say I'm out of here, or 12, whatever. I do give them at least a minute. I give them 30 seconds, a minute and a half, something like that. So at least it helps their channel out, you know, that sort of thing. But I mean, this is getting tricky, and that's the whole damn thing. Alright, we basically got about 30 seconds left, so I'm just going to kind of wrap this up. Stay tuned for part 2, which is basically going to be another 25-minute episode. There's probably only going to be like 5 of these, though, so that's the whole thing. Big Blue's pissing me off, and it was when I was playing this, so just know that. Don't care about the pleasant music, that's for sure. Alright, yep, that's just about it. Captain Falcon fails. Subscribe for more fun.